You know, people will rise and fall to meet your expectations. Whether you dream big for somebody and you hold this grand vision for who they can be and you believe in their potential, or if you simply think that they're worthless, they're never going to do their job right, and they can't accomplish anything, that's typically the result that you're going to get out of the people in your life. The way that you view them in the context of your relationship with them and your interaction with them is typically how you are going to experience that person. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever realized that people can be so competent with other people, but as soon as they get around you, if you're that type of personality that's very domineering and just has a lot of doubt and very cynical, they just don't perform. Nobody seems to perform correctly for you, and yet the world goes on just fine. And you think that everybody is worthless and nobody can do their job right and nobody has the ability to meet your expectations. Well, that's typically because of the energy you put off and the box that you put them in. They sense that. People tend to rise to your expectations or fall to your expectations. And the obverse is true, that if you hold a grand vision of people and you always assume the best, you assume that they're going to show up and do their job well, and you encourage them to do that, and you set those expectations from a sense of lifting them up and accomplishment and achievement, you'll find that most people around you actually rise to meet those expectations, and they do a very good job at getting results and doing their job and meeting your needs. It's just truth. There's a law in the universe that says that people will typically rise and fall to meet your expectations. Now, of course, there's people that are solid rocks in who they are, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing, and they can be totally unmoved by external circumstances or external people, right? And so if they're just slobs and they're just lazy, they're never going to do their job well, no matter what your expectations are. And yet, obviously people simply need someone to believe in them and to encourage them, and that gets them to bust out of their shells. And so there is that way that it applies to those people as well. And then there's people that are rock stars that, despite the circumstances, despite the person they're dealing with, they've learned to give things their all. They've learned to go the extra mile. They've learned to be high achievers. And so regardless of your expectations, even if you're a domineering person trying to crush them, they'll still deliver because they're doing it for themselves. But in a typical situation, people will rise or fall to meet your expectations of them, and you should be very aware of that as you go about your day-to-day business. It's a really cool thing to realize, and I heard this conversation between two friends, and one person was just typically looking at the world as nobody would ever meet his expectations, nobody would ever do their job right, and so he was constantly dealing with headaches and frustrations, and people were screwing him over. And then he was telling this to my other friend, and my other friend stopped him and said, I always go into situations expecting the best from people. I always give them the benefit of the doubt that they will show up and do their best, but then I treat them as if they will do their best. And I encourage them to do that, and I lift them up, and I set that expectation for them that I want them to do their best, but because I believe that they're able to, and I believe that they will, and they typically don't disappoint me. And I started thinking about that, and it's really a beautiful principle. One person experiences a lot of frustration and lack and doubt because he's always expecting the worst out of people. No one is ever going to meet his needs or his expectations. And he goes into that and he feeds them that negativity, and of course they just hit that wall. And the other person is usually experiencing very positive results, very beneficial things from people, and they're always meeting his expectations, and he's always expecting the best out of them. And so I challenge you, as you go about your day this week, as you go about your week, think about the way that you're interacting with people and test yourself. And I want you to challenge yourself to think the best of people and actually encourage them to rise up to meet expectations. And now if you're a typically negative person, that doesn't mean that you set really high expectations and you force them into that. That doesn't do it. That's actually expecting them to fail, and so you're setting these high expectations and knowing that they're not going to hit it. But if you can change the inner way that you feel about people, you can change your heart thought about people, and you can say, I'm setting these expectations because I fully believe that you're able, that you're capable, and that you will rise to meet these, and that together we can do this and we can do exceedingly well. That's a good manager. That's a good leader, right? To bring someone up to a level rather than set a level and expect them to fall. And so people feed off of this, and they will sense that you truly believe that they're capable, and all of a sudden they don't want to disappoint you. And so you know what? They're going to show up with their A game. because they respect you and they want to please you, and they know that you believe that they can. And so they can't lie to themselves and they can't lie to you. So they will show up and they will give it their all. But the obverse is true. If you are setting low expectations and you fully believe people will fail, well, they start to believe that about themselves in the context of your relationship. And so they won't meet those expectations. They won't rise to the occasion because in your vision of them and in the peripheral that you have given them, the perspective that they hold now of themselves through your lens, they're not able to meet your expectations. They're not able to do a good job. And so they can't bust out of that subconsciously, and they're confined to this place of negativity. And of course, they're going to fail to meet your needs. And so challenge yourself. Look at the way that you're treating people. Look at the expectations that you're setting for the people around you, and then really observe the heart that you're setting those expectations from, because it could be any one of those three things that you need to change and shift. And I almost guarantee you, if you'll be really diligent about doing that this week and paying attention to where that comes from and how you're doing it, and you make those subtle shifts and you actually care about the people you're around, and you set high expectations and high encouragement, and you believe that they will actually show up and do their job well, and you give them that energy, I guarantee almost that the majority of the time you're going to see that the results change and people will rise or fall to meet your expectations. So I hope that encourages you. I hope it helps you. I hope there's benefit in that for you. I'm Makai Block with Limitless North. I want to encourage you to hit that like button, leave a comment. Let's talk about some of this content. Go watch some of the other videos. And of course, if you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe. And we're building just an amazing community of people on this channel that are high achievers, that are entrepreneurs, that are going after success, that are changing the way that they live and the results that they get. And it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for being a part of it. I'm Makai Block with Limitless North. God bless you, and I will see you on the next video.
Hi, I'm Makai Block. Welcome to Limitless North TV. I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You might ask yourself, why should I? Every week, I'll be developing and delivering quality videos focused on helping you become a high-value, high-achieving entrepreneur, to earn more and increase your income, to build and grow your wealth, and to make insightful and impactful changes to the way that you live your life and run your businesses. You will be challenged. You will be inspired. I will motivate you to hit that next level in your life, to overcome your obstacles, and to quit struggling through your mediocrity. But most importantly, I'll be developing and delivering strategies and ideas, tips, tricks, habits, and tools that you can begin implementing in your life today to see the success and the change that you've been hoping for. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so you don't miss a single episode, and I will see you on the next one. I guarantee you, and I promise you, that you won't regret it. Welcome to Limitless North.